You know what's crazy, right? All of life, right? It's like, guys, listen. If you listen to me for any length of time, you know what my position is. I'm gonna show you something, right? Okay. So you don't have a natural kind of understanding of certain things. They have to be defined for you by the system, yeah? The program has to define certain things for you, like what's cool, what's not cool, blah, 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 blah. But outside of all of that, you have another kind of measuring stick inside of you, right? That you can measure what is good, what's not bad, what's acceptable, what's not. You just know there are certain things that are just written in your heart. Humans, we call it our kind of like our inner compass, intuition, whatever you want to call it, but it exists, right? That voice in your gut, they call it your gut reaction, or your gut. What does your gut say? What does your heart say? People say these things, right? And what you guided to do, right? If you listen to those words and you break them down to any dimension, to like even the basic level, right? It shows that there is an aspect of you that has its own definition, yeah, of what is good for you to do as the body that thing is occupying, right? We've just proven that. Okay. So when you are attached to the story of this reality, say you got a problem with somebody, blah, 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 or whatever, societal expectations, whatever, because everything is like one of those kind of, it's like similar thing, whatever. And as you're clashing with that person, there's a moment where you can stop and then you just kind of think and you go, hang on a minute. What's the point of what we're actually doing just now? Because I see things this way, they see things that way. That's it really, right? So why the argument? Why the conflict? Because you are being possessed by a demon called the ego. Because the ego wants to fight, it wants to hurt, it wants to lie, it wants to steal, it wants to kill, it wants to destroy, it wants to maim, it's an animal, it's a very nasty animal that's inside of you. Like even this guy that comments on my videos, I call him Jesus boy. Like he's got such a hard on for me. I don't know what's wrong with him. Anyway, it's all compassion anyway. You can't judge people from their base of knowledge. Not from your base of knowledge. You gotta judge it from their base of knowledge. One day he'll wake up. It's just timelines, man. We've all, that's where he's at. That's where he's at. It's cool. Let him just go through, and that's it. It's not a big deal. It's like you're trying to tell me your position. You're triggered. Okay, so let's break it all down, right? So I am by myself. I take my phone and I record a video and I broadcast it on the internet. You're not compelled to listen. You're not compelled to do anything. This is not a gulag where you're forced to watch videos. You can put your phone down. Yeah. You can choose not to respond to my video. You can choose to ignore my video. You can choose to turn off my video. Whatever you want to do is up to you, right? There's no compulsion anywhere. But then you listen to my video and get to the end, right? Because there is something inside of you that wants to listen to the video. But we'll get to that. Now, once you listen to that video and you finish, the ego kicks in and goes, no, to me, right? Because you are conflicted. Because you are in conflict with yourself. That's why I always talk about don't give egos reflections, because egos are in conflict with yourself. And who's yourself? Consciousness. So it's a perpetual fight between dark and light, yeah, as we like to call it. It's a perpetual fight between the night and day. It's an endless fight between good and evil, or God and the devil, or your higher self and the lower self. It's a perpetual fight. Because your perpetual, the lower side of you doesn't want to give up control to the other side. Endless fight. And even when your higher self has control, your lower self doesn't give up. It will always keep, because you are an energetic being and you go through cycles, it will keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. Let me let you in on a little secret, right? Everyone blames Eve, yeah, and I kind of do in a way as well, but it's a story anyway, so there's nothing to actually blame. But Eve was beguiled by the serpent, right? We don't know how long the serpent had been trying to beguile them. We don't know, because there's no mention of it, right? But let's try and expand it for a while. Let's assume that went on for 1,000 years, right? 1,000 human years. It'll get to a point where Eve might think, actually, do you know what? Okay, let's see what you're saying. If what you're saying is true. That's the power of the lower self. It will keep fighting you, and it will keep giving you opportunities to, it will try and try and try and try and try. And that's why even when you become a sage or a fucking monk that sits on some mountain meditating for fucking years, you still can be tricked by your lower self and end up doing some weird shit. And that's no reflection on you, because there are no bad people. There are just egos. There are no bad people, man. There's just egos. But yeah. Anyway, that's that.